Welcome back to the Barbecue Lab. I'm David.
And I'm Melissa.
And today we're going to actually continue with the idea of what do we do with our leftover pulled pork. And one of my favorite uses of pulled pork when it's left over is to make a pulled pork Cubano sandwich. So for our Cubano sandwich today, we're actually going to start by making a little bit of a sauce to mix our leftover pulled pork in. Now, this is for pulled pork that we haven't sauced before. So I try to only sauce the pork I'm going to use during the cook that we're using it. And so the leftover pulled pork is not sauced. So we're just going to throw a quick sauce together that we're going to mix this in as we reheat it. So Melissa, tell us what we're going to do with these ingredients here.
We are going to juice one whole orange and one whole lime into a small saucepan and add some brown sugar and some chili powder to that.
So we have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, and all we're going to do is try to reduce down these ingredients to make a thick sauce, not something that's watery. So it's going to have to reduce down for probably 10 or 15 minutes, and so we're going to do that first to get started. All right, so we have our sauce pulled together, and one of the things I want you to see is when you take something like a spatula and you run it along the bottom of the sauce, you'll notice that it kind of parts and it takes a little while for it to come back in. That's what we want to see. We want to see this kind of thickness in the sauce before we add the pork in. So we have the sauce to the consistency that we're looking for, and now what we need to do is we need to take our pulled pork that we have left over, and we need to add this to the sauce, because the idea is we're going to go ahead and coat the pork in this sauce and add that gorgeous citrus flavor, the chili powder, the brown sugar. We're going to coat this with all of that flavor before we go any further. Now that we have our sauce and our pork pulled together, we're ready to go ahead and start assembling these Cubano sandwiches. So Melissa, tell us, how are we going to build this from the bottom up?
All right, so we need to put a nice coat of mustard, just plain old yellow mustard, on both sides of the bread.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but I love mustard, and I love it on both sides. I mean, to quote Emerald, I mean, I don't like that one side tasting food, so give me both sides of mustard, right?
Yeah, and this gives a really nice tang flavor to the sandwich.
Cool.
And then we also want melted cheese on both sides, kind of helps it stay together. So we're going to do some Swiss on the top and the bottom.
Then we're going to start working in some ham, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get you some
This is
ham
just
here.
deli ham.
What do you think? One more?
Yeah, let's do one more. Okay. And then let's add the pork next.
All right, we're going to give a pretty good healthy dose, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not so much that it won't close, but let's see if we can work that around there.
That looks good. And we've got some dill pickle slices that we're going to layer on top of that. That looks
Looking
good.
gorgeous.
All right, and then we're gonna just go ahead and flip that other side over, and we've got our sandwich built from the top up.
Okay, so now all we need to do is we're gonna put a little butter on there. What's the point of putting butter on it?
Oh, just to make it nice and toasty and caramelized on the outside. So we've got our the bottom side of the sandwich facing up right now, so we're gonna go ahead and paint some melted butter on that side.
Then I'm gonna flip it over, and we're gonna get the other side, right?
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
All right, all that's left now is to get this thing out there on the grill, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. All right, so we have our Cubano sandwiches put together, and we fired up the Cubano. We've got it running right around 400 degrees today. And our goal is we want to be able to get a nice sear on the top and the bottom. Now, traditionally, you'd see a double-sided sandwich press used to make Cubano sandwiches. But what I find is that you can really do this with what you probably already have at home. we have a pizza pan made out of cast iron. We also have cast iron skillets, and the whole idea is if you get those nice and good and hot out here on the grill, you can use those to create your own double-sided sandwich press, which is exactly what we're gonna do today. So if you come over here and take a look, we've had the Cubano going for quite a while here. We have our 2 different cast iron units together, and we're gonna go ahead and stick these Cubano sandwiches on here, and we're gonna get them ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna go ahead and take our Cubano sandwiches, get them on the front, like that, like that. I'm gonna go ahead and take this, put it right on top, and smush that down, just like a sandwich press would do. Then I'm gonna let this roll for a couple minutes, because that is good and hot, let me tell you right now. It's not gonna take those very long at all. So these have only been on probably about 90 seconds, and so we're gonna go ahead and check them and pull them off and see what we're working with here. And if you look, see what that cast iron's been able to do to the top of that sandwich? It's really put that nice mark on top, and the same thing on the bottom. Where you got some nice sticking going on, I can tell you that. There we go, check that out. That's exactly what I'm looking for when I talk about a Cubano sandwich. And that's only going to catch more meltiness and more goodness here in the next couple minutes as it continues to pull together. But I'm telling you, this is melty and delicious. We're going to let it sit for just a couple seconds. We'll take it inside and slice it, and we'll show you what we have. Okay, so we brought the Cubanos in. We've had them sitting on the cutting board here for a few minutes. And it's actually the point where we can probably take a bite and not burn ourselves, all right? So overall, what I usually like to do is slice these on the bias. So I'll come in here, something like this, makes them look nice and gorgeous like that. And then all that's left to do is try it. You know, I snuck a bite because, well, I'm here, so I did it. But this is, oh man, so good. All right, so you ready?
Yes, yes, yes.
Let's give it a try. Here we go. Mmm.
Oh man.
That barbecue dripping off.
That is so good.
Now, for me, this doesn't even really taste like the pulled pork that we pulled off the grill. It tastes like pulled pork that has that infusion of citrus and all of those spices from the chili powder and that brown sugar really giving it the sweetness. Man, the meltiness of that Swiss cheese.
And paired with the tanginess of the pickle and the mustard, it's just, I love the way it all works together.
Yeah, I mean, this is the stuff. If you wonder what to do with your leftover pulled pork, you got to give a Cubano a try. Now, if you enjoyed what you saw here today, we hope you subscribe to the channel. We hope you come back and you help learn how to become a better pitmaster. We want you to amaze your friends and neighbors. We want you to cook some stuff in the backyard that has them going, dang, I didn't know they could do that. And you didn't have to tell them about us. That's okay. You can have this be your own little secret. Now, if you got some grill masters that you have that are friends, we hope you share this with them. We'd love to be able to meet grill masters all across the world. Pit masters who have been doing this for years, or those who are just starting up. That's what this channel exists for. We want to help make you better at what you do. And so we love that you joined us today. And we look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Barbecue Lab. I'm going in for another one. I don't know about you.
Yes, please.